Friends, let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard a sound that touches your heart? A sound that reaches deep inside you? That sound is the piano. Today, we are going to talk about one of the most majestic musical instruments in the world, the great piano. And I will explain it in such a simple way that even a young child can understand what a piano is. So, let's begin from the very beginning. First of all, what is a piano? A piano is a musical instrument with black and white keys. When you press a key, a small hammer inside the piano strikes a string, and that creates sound. Think about tapping your finger on a table. It creates a sound, right? A piano works in a similar way, but much more beautifully. Around the year 1700, he created a new instrument. If a key was pressed softly, it produced a soft sound. If it was pressed harder, it produced a louder sound. He called it gravicembalo col piano e forte, which means an instrument that can play both soft and loud. Over time, people shortened the name and simply called it the piano. The piano was born in Italy and slowly spread across Europe. During the 18th century, it became popular in countries like Germany and Austria. People continued improving its design and performance. By the 19th century, pianos were being produced in factories, making them more affordable and accessible to ordinary families. Soon, the sound of the piano spread throughout the world. Now let's look at the different types of pianos. The first type is the grand piano. This is the largest and most elegant piano. It's commonly used in concerts, theaters, and large music halls. The second type is the upright piano. This piano stands vertically and is often found in homes because it takes up less space. The third type is the digital piano. Unlike traditional pianos, it does not use strings. It works electronically and can be played with headphones, making it ideal for students and home practice. The fourth type is the baby grand piano. It's a smaller version of the grand piano. One of the most famous was Ludwig van Beethoven. He was a German composer whose music is still loved today. What makes his story extraordinary is that he continued composing music even after losing much of his hearing. Another legendary musician was Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Mozart began playing piano when he was only 5 years old. While most children were playing games, he was already performing music for audiences. Then there was Frédéric Chopin. His piano compositions were filled with emotion and beauty. Even today, people around the world are moved by his music. In modern times, artists such as John Legend, Elton John, and Alicia Keys have continued to inspire audiences with piano music. The piano is not just an instrument, it is a way to express. A piano has 88 keys. 52 white keys, and 36 black keys. The white keys play the basic notes, while the black keys create sharp and flat notes. Together, these keys create an entire world of music. Now let's talk about the history of the piano. A long time ago, before the year 1700, there was an instrument called the harpsichord. It looked similar to a piano and also had keys. However, it had one major problem. No matter how softly or how hard you pressed the keys, the sound stayed the same. Then came an Italian inventor named Bartolomeo Cristofori. He wanted an instrument that could play both soft and loud sounds, depending on how the player touched the keys. Now let's understand how a piano works. When you press a key, the key moves downward. A lever inside the piano moves upward. That movement causes a small hammer to strike a string. The string vibrates, creating sound waves. Those sound waves travel through the air and reach your ears. That is how music is created. The harder you press the key, the louder the sound becomes. The softer you press the key, the softer the sound becomes.
This ability to control the volume and emotion of the music was one of Cristofori's greatest inventions. Now here are some interesting facts about the piano. A piano contains more than 12,000 individual parts. It is one of the most complex musical instruments ever created.
One of the most expensive pianos ever sold was the Steinway & Sons Alma Tadema piano, which sold for around $1.2 million. Research suggests that learning piano can improve memory, concentration, and problem-solving skills. Many studies have found that children who learn piano often perform better in subjects such as mathematics and science. The piano is often called the king of instruments because it can play a huge range of notes, from very low bass sounds to very high treble sounds. A grand piano contains around 230 strings, all working together to create its rich and powerful sound. So, what have we learned today? We learned what a piano is, how it works, where it came from, who invented it, and why it has become one of the most respected musical instruments in the world. The piano is more than just an instrument. It is a story that has been inspiring people for more than 300 years. A story of creativity, expression, and emotion. And the most amazing thing is that anyone can become a part of that story. All it takes is the touch of a single key. Thank you for listening, and keep enjoying the beautiful world of music.